What is going on, YouTube? Got a quick review here for you. The Hudson Bibs from Sitka. I have them in the Sitka Optifade Marsh pattern. These retail for $490, give or take. I picked mine up for, I think, just under $400, like the $390 mark at Presley's Outdoors. And they actually have them on sale as of right now, you know, whatever, early part of January, for the same price. So if you're looking at maybe buying one of these and you're in the market right now, check them out right now at Presley'sOutdoors.com. If not, we'll get right into the review. So let's start off by saying this. I think the biggest thing to note about for a $500 pair of waterfowl bibs is, one, you're in a premium market. So if you're maybe a casual outdoorsman, you don't go a lot, you don't go in extreme conditions, these may not be the best bib for you because they're obviously, you know, a little bit more on the expensive side. But if you're like me and you can get multiple seasonal uses out of them, they're well worth the money. So I will wear them from right out of the gate, you know, as soon as, you know, waterfowl season opens in October there, and I'll wear them all the way to the bitter end. I'll have them for honker season, duck season. I have them for snow goose season. I ice fish with them a lot. Love them for ice fishing. A lot of different uses. I'll take kids sledding in them. So for without question, I get my money's worth out of these bibs. So for the money, no brainer. Also, you have to take in consideration Sitka does have that lifetime warranty to them. So instead of paying $300 or $200 for a pair of bibs every 2 years, you can buy yourself one pair of bibs and know that you're going to have them for the rest of your life. Okay, with that being said, let's talk thickness. These are not a very thick bib. If you're buying these thinking that you're going to get a super thick pair of bibs, you're going to be very disappointed. They're very thin. What these are is this is a shell. They're made of Gore-Tex. For those of you who don't know, you can do a little research on what Gore-Tex actually is. But Gore-Tex is the process of taking plastic and stretching it so thin that it develops these little bitty tiny holes or these pores. Those pores are big enough to allow air to flow on a molecular level, but not too big to where water can penetrate. So you get the wind and water protection without having the suffocating qualities of like just a thick rubber. So again, that's what Gore-Tex is. I'm sure it's probably extremely expensive to get into a product, which would explain why products with Gore-Tex just in general are more expensive. But these are a Gore-Tex layer. So what does that require from you? Okay, well, if this isn't a one-stop shop for bibs. If you buy these bibs, you're also going to have some sort of an underlay. For me, I wear base layers starting out. So if it's 40 degrees, I'll wear these in a base layer. As it gets progressively colder, I'm going to turn up the intensity of what I put underneath these bibs. At the most intense I've ever gotten with them would be about right now, and that's air temps, you know, below 20 degrees, you know, 20 degrees below zero, you know, real feel, I should say, not air temp, but real feel 20 below zero. And that's going to be a base layer, a Sitka waders pants, or a thick pair of sweatpants, and maybe one other base layer, just depending on how much mobility or how much movement you're going to have and whether or not you're going to be in a pit with a heater or whatever the case may be. So you'd have to layer below them, so that's something to take into consideration. But what this allows you to do is it allows you to adjust thermally what you want. Because these aren't a really thick material, they're not going to make you burn up, and they're not going to have a ton of resistance to walking, which is a very, very nice feature to have on bibs. I walk in these like I walk in blue jeans, which is really nice when it comes to put out decoys, chasing down a cripple. I don't ever feel like I'm restricted movement-wise like I would be with a normal pair of bibs. So, again, when waterproof, if you do tear a hole in them, there is a good thick, I don't want to call it a canvas-like material, but it's, you know, just as similar to what you would think on a Gore-Tex jacket. If you do tear a hole in them, they do sell a patch that matches this camo. You can put it on during your regular hunting season. That will give you the water and windproof protection. At the end of season, send them back into Sitka. They'll patch them and put an actual heated and pressed seal on them. So let's start from the top down and give you the full review. Start out with the straps. The straps are going to be a sewn Gore-Tex material paired with a metal hook. So that hook is actually going to just sit inside of these predetermined little notches, such as this one. And voila, that's how your bib works. Just sit, the hook goes right in there to one of these little saddles. Nice feature to have because of how thin these straps are. It's very comfortable for them to sit on your shoulders because they're not thick. You don't have to worry about a buckle or something, you know, binding or wearing on your shoulder all day. Also because it is a metal fitting and then this sewn Gore-Tex. You don't have to worry about your bibs getting stuck in a truck door or going to close the truck door and slamming it, or the tailgate and busting your buckles. It happens all the time. I've lost a lot of pair of good bibs from slamming the turnbuckle in a door. So voila on the buckle system. The first pocket to note are going to be these first, what I would call hand warmer pockets. And I like them. Word of the wise or caution is there is no lip on the edge of this pocket, so don't put anything valuable or easy to come out like a pair of keys or a wallet, because of the fact that, again, there is no, if you look, there is no lip to catch anything from falling out. So if you put a pair of keys in there, you bend over, it can fall right out. These are strictly to keep your hands warm, and I would say nothing else. Your valuables, I would put in this first zipped pocket. Obviously, that's going to, because it's waterproof, it's going to seal it from, getting any moisture in there. I keep my phone always in the pocket of my sweatpants, just because I want to keep it warm and I don't want it to just suddenly die. That is where this aspect of these pants is extremely nice, because you have this elastic aspect. When I go to fish my keys out of my interior pocket, I have room to move my arm and get it out. If it was carried the Gore-Tex material all the way around, first of all, it would be so stiff to get in these things. Second of all, it would just tear your arm up trying to get anything out of your pocket. So, again, they did a very, very good job with that design. Moving down into your main pockets, these things are deep, man. I don't really know size-wise what I would say, but I know for sure I can fit 2 to 3 boxes of shells in here. Without a doubt. Maybe not the box, but if I dumped them in here, for sure 3 boxes of shells would fit in here. They are gigantic. Don't think I needed them necessarily this big, but I'm not going to complain. Probably good for gloves, mittens, hats, just whatever snacks, honey buns you want to put in here. But you're not lacking on any sort of a space material here. The one downside I will say right out of the gate of these pants is this zipper. As you zip down, it's kind of a pain to get this zipper back up, because what they have is they've got this secondary liner material that sits on the inside of this zipper, so it's stopping any moisture that comes through this zipper from getting to you, and it hits this back material and just drains out. The consequence is it gets bound up pretty frequently in the zipper, so it stops my zipper from coming up, which is very, very annoying. Moving down, best part of these, without question, is the knee pads. Ice fishing, kneeling over a hole in the bottom of a pit, calling, that knee protection is worth the $500 in itself. It has made hunting so much more. Getting in and out of layout blinds, you got some stalks or you're in a disc field, you kneel in that layout blind. Man, this padding has really, really, really come into a lot of handy for me. So very, very, very happy with the padding. And then turning their way to the round on the back side of the pants, obviously you just have that double layered material. So, let's get into sizing. I am 6 foot, 145 pounds give or take, and these are mediums. They're a little on the tighter side. I would say if you're anything obviously larger than me, both weight or height, you're for sure going to go large. The only caveat is, if you're like a guy that's maybe a little bit more bigger than me, you're going to fall in the same issue I have, is that their sizings are kind of messed up. They have a huge gap between medium and large, like a gigantic gap between medium and large. So there's like a 170-pound guy, like a 6'2", that I feel like for sure falls in no man's land. The larges are going to swim in, the mediums are going to be too tight. So don't buy them cold bore offline and just hope that the sizing's right, unless they have a good return policy from wherever you're buying them. For sure go in and try them out, because I thought I would get a large, but I definitely got a medium, and it would have been a nightgown. I've been running around in a queen-size bed sheet if I got the larges, so, just to note that. But all in all, for $500, again, it's expensive, but these things are a premium quality outdoor gear, and they are, without question, going to put me in the outdoors in situations that I wouldn't normally be in, because of how thin in nature they are. Again, that mobility is huge. I can run after cripples. They're waterproof, windproof, as long as I wear appropriate base layers, the appropriate clothing underneath them. I've never gotten cold. And all in all, for a lifetime investment clothing, something that I can, obviously take into Sitka, have fixed for the lifetime of the product, very, very, very happy with it. But again, if you aren't involved with much in the outdoors, you don't do a lot, you're kind of limited in just maybe hunting one species. Again, probably not the most important thing for you to buy right now. But anyway, that's my review. If you're thinking about picking up a pair, you have a question, leave it in the comment section below. Other than that, I think they're a great pair of bibs, and I'd highly recommend them. Thanks for watching, guys.